Hey folks, this is Jay Cuss from Cuss Gaming. Welcome back to my channel, and it has been a while since I posted, so I'm going to post a video today about tips on grinding. My iPad was in the shop for about a week, so it has been a little while since I've been able to post some good content on Hustle Castle. So today I'm going to post 6 tips to follow when doing your grinds. These are general tips, they are not area specific. If you are interested in area specific tips, please let me know in the comments below. All right, number 1, identify your needs. So for example, you can get different rewards out of the portal, the arena, and the djembe, and in particular when looking at your materials. So a lot of people, when they get to tier 11, need to start grinding for materials, and the materials are exclusive to the different grinding areas, such as the dark portal, the djembe, and arena. So identify what you really need. In particular, quite a few people end up needing either dragon teeth in portal, or if they don't do a lot of arena, they might find themselves in need of materials for arena. So you can see what's there. You can also see what you're lacking for your hero. This is specific to dungeons as one of the grinding areas. But identify your needs. In particular, what I've been doing is identifying a need in djembe. I always need more gems, so what I've been doing this past week is grinding a lot of djembe. And you can see I've done pretty well this season so far. There is quite a big difference once you start getting up in the ranks of the people ranked there. Eva has more than double what I have for the different materials that you can get from the djembe. So identify your needs. Where do you need stuff? Do you need stuff for crafting your ancient gear? Do you need resources? And that can be done in PvP matches. Do you need different things from the arena? For example, if you go to the arena shop, there might be something that you need, whether it be an artifact or at tier 11, many people need souls, good souls for both weapon and armor. So identify your needs. All right. Number 2, pick what you want to grind. This is something that's very true in dungeon. Most people who grind dungeon end up grinding just dungeon while they're doing it. And this is important for the next point that I'm going to make. But pick what you really want to grind. Pick, if you want to do arena, focus on arena. If you want to do dungeon, focus on dungeon. This dungeon right now, you might look, I have quite a bit of ether saved up. This is not all that much ether saved up. This is 1 day of grinding. And I can show you that in stash here as well. This is just from 1 day of grinding, getting all of these dungeon materials. Now granted, it's a lot of grinding. I'd say this is probably 25 or so dungeons in the last day, last 24 hours. But it is possible to do this amount of grinding in dungeon. And with this kind of dungeon grinding, this is also something you can do as a free-to-play player. One of my teammates is Jew, and he was able to level up his hero nearly to max. Still missing quite a bit of ancients, but doing very well on his hero. So shout outs to him on grinding dungeon a lot more than I have. Yeah, make sure you pick what you want to grind. If you're going to do portal, focus on portal. I kind of spread myself pretty thin. I was doing djembe and portal and dungeon, and essentially this last season of portal, I didn't really get that much, especially for already buying the the soul catcher here that gives me 3 times as much. I really did not utilize that. If you are going to be purchasing the bonus here, make sure you're utilizing it here. I mean, I'm not even close to some of the top folks here, so make sure that you really want to capitalize on your grinding area. All right, so that's number 2, pick what you want to grind, or pick what you even can grind. I mentioned that because sometimes arena, you might really want to grind arena for those souls, but you might have a squad that's just not ready for grinding arena. So if you're, right now I'm TR11 and I have a 7-man squad over 20 million, and if you're going up an arena and you have a much weaker squad, in my bracket, it's going to be very tough to get, placing top 3 every time. And that should be a goal for grinding arena, that you should be getting first, second, or third consistently. All right, number 3, I mentioned this a couple minutes ago about the idea of double dipping, or make sure that you pick one place to grind. This is particularly true when you're doing dungeon. So when you're doing dungeon and arena and djembe all at the same time, you're just not going to have the time to multitask between them. You're going to have to make sure that you focus on your arena and the time that you have to attack the player. You're going to then have to close out and then go to djembe, open this up, and then start your attack there. You need to wait for that to finish out. Especially if you're even a leader in the dungeon, it's going to really be a detriment focusing on what place to deploy next, and you can't really even look what you're going to do. So for example, if you have a mirror there, you probably want to take a look at your mirror before you deploy there. This is really, I think, important for grinding, as it will really focus and reward you in the area that you want to focus in. So if you focus on more than one area, or put your time in more than one area, it's going to hurt all of your different areas combined. And that's one thing that I've actually done myself. So I mentioned about Portal, and my Portal suffered this last week. I really had lots of time to do it, but I focused on 3 areas: dungeon, djembe, and Portal, and doing all 3 of them is just not possible. So the next thing is number 4. So number 3, I called it don't double dip, or don't do multiple grinding areas. Number 4 is to prepare. And by prepare, I mean you want to make sure that you have enough diamonds if you're going to be spending food. You want to make sure that you have enough tickets if you're doing arena. So I have quite a few tickets here that I've saved up, because I had quite a few months go by where I was just not doing arena whatsoever. If you're doing dungeon, make sure you have enough torches to be able to grind it. And with Portal's probably the most expensive with food. And if I'm spending 55,000 food per attack, that goes down pretty quickly. And so to have a lot of saved up chests or food refreshes is very important. So this is what I found very effective for me. Also helps out with mithril, but I have a few of these saved, and then I can start spending them and get lots of food and resources. But there are other ones that are chests that you can get from Donkey and different events that can give you food chests, and to help you with Portal specifically, but also other areas of game. So make sure that you really prepare. This is number 4, prepare for your grinding. Number 5 comes right after the preparation. Make sure you schedule, or you plan when you're going to do your grinding. It might sound silly. I'm not saying actually write it down, or put it into your calendar on your device, or on a physical calendar that you might have at home, but to really think about when you're going to do Portal, for example. For me, I've noticed a really good time to do Portal is if I'm going to be cooking or doing some big meal for folks. I can easily click on the level 80 attack and keep on doing this, and every couple minutes I can keep on grinding the Portal and doing things in real life. If you're going to be doing djembe, I like to pace this out with when my let's say the spells are ready. So when I'm crafting spells, I still do use spells, particularly on levels 14 and 15 when I'm grinding djembe. I'll throw down a what is this called, the totem, which is a defensive buff to my army, and I like to have a full set of these. You know, I don't want to start my grind when I'm completely wiped of spells, for example. The same thing, you don't want to necessarily start your grinds when you are completely depleted of food. Or start your grind when your dungeon, you don't have any torches left, or it's just a time when people in your clan or in your team are not available. So plan or schedule when you're going to do your grind. This is number 5 on the tips list. And the last one might be a bit silly, but make sure you claim your rewards. For some of these, it's not an issue. For example, Djembe. You can kind of claim your rewards whenever, right? You have your saved Kraken tokens here, and you can claim them whenever you really want to. Some people really like to save them up. I know QC really likes to save these up and go on a big spree. Other people like to spend them immediately when they get them. And it also depends kind of if you've just hit a new threshold, like you've just hit TR 11, you might want to start spending a lot of the things that you've saved, particularly in chests and things like that. But make sure you claim them. And so Djembe is unique. It's not as critical, but things like Portal. If you've ground Portal and you have millions and millions and millions of souls, you want to make sure you use these because they will disappear. They will expire. And that would be a complete waste of your grinding time. So make sure that you claim those rewards. So Portal particularly is where you want to do this. The other thing that I would really say that grind applies to is the events. Now, we don't have an event going on right now, but make sure that you're claiming your rewards in your events. I've at least had 2 or 3 times when at the end of the event, I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this at the last minute, I forget, and I lose a few chests. So I've just generally made it a rule of thumb for me, about a day before the event ends, I really want to make sure that I have claimed my reward. So if I do forget, you know, maybe I miss a couple chests or something like that, but I'm not missing out on most of the loot. So again, these are the 6 tips and suggestions that I have for grinding. I'll summarize them again for you. The first one is identify your needs. So what do you want to grind? Number 2, pick what you want to grind or what you can grind. So arena might not be viable even though you really want to get some good arena equipment. Number 3 is to not double dip, and this is particular for arena and dungeon. Don't do the same don't do them at the same time. Number 4 is to prepare. You want to make sure that you prepare enough diamonds or food or whatever resources you're going to be using for your grind. Number 5 is to schedule. So schedule the time that you're going to put into grinding that area. And number 6 is to claim your rewards. Make sure you claim your rewards, particularly in Portal and major events. All right, thank you for listening, and I hope this provides some helpful information and tips for you in your Hustle Castle gameplay. Please leave any comments below or suggestions or questions, and I'll get back to you later. Thank you. Bye.